Welcome back to Sack to the Future. It is Super Bowl Sunday, 1971 Super Bowl, featuring an all-Texas matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Oilers. The Cowboys predicted to get here because, of course, they are the top-rated team since in 1971 real life, they won the Super Bowl. The Oilers are a surprise team. So you got the Cinderella story, if you will, against the heavy favorites. In fact, the ratings for the rosters here that, of course, I make the ratings, but as you can imagine, the real-life champions are rated higher than the Oilers team that's not supposed to be here. It's a 12-point favorite. That's what we got. We have a 12-point favorite here. And the Oilers have been making people believe all year long. So can they do it one more time? Don't worry about that Jason Garrett stuff. Or Mike Vrabel. That's not the real coaches. There's Pastorini, though, in his rookie season, making it all the way to the Super Bowl. Quite impressive. Roger Staubach, of course, has been the best quarterback all season long. So this is it. If the Cowboys win, we've been saying it all season long, if the Cowboys win, they will be the first team ever in Sack to the Future to win the championship, on a year when they were real-life champions. The Dallas Cowboys of 1960, nowhere near real-life champions, but they won the first Sack to the Future Bowl. And here they are. I want to say in 1963, but it may have been earlier than that. Got to get the history of Sack to the Future back out. But anyways, both of these teams have won one. So the winner will have their second Sack to the Future Bowl, tying them with the Chicago Bears for the most. Of course, the Cowboys are one of the prime four. The Oilers, if you will, one of the secondary four, as they used to be the second team, coached by John M. So you have seen a lot of Oilers games. You've seen every Cowboys game. So here we go. Get your rooting interest in. Comment if you would like to. Hopefully you just enjoy the game, though. Super Bowl Sunday, ending 1971. And here we go. Mosley kicks off. He kicks it just into the end zone. It is definitely returnable out across the 20, 25. Puts his head down across the 30. What a start for the Cowboys. A 32-yard return, and here is the best quarterback in the league, Roger Staubach. 21 touchdowns, 9 picks only, over 3,300 yards, and somewhere around 66% completion percentage. The best quarterback. Bob Hayes was the best receiver, and Dwayne Thomas was top 2 or 3, arguably, as running back. In fact, with the yearly awards, Madden style, that was Calvin Hill on the first carry for 6 yards. But in the yearly awards, best quarterback was Staubach, best receiver was Hayes, best running back was actually Willard of the 49ers, but Dwayne Thomas was right there at number 2. So they almost swept all the best offensive players in the sport. 2 handoffs to Hill to start this game, and there's another one for Calvin Hill. So Dwayne Thomas watching. Oh, no, sorry, Thomas got the second one. So 3 carries in a row, Hill, then Thomas, then Hill, and they've gotten almost 20 yards on 3 carries. There's another handoff to Hill. Gets a nice block from Walt Garrison. Picks up the first down. So Cowboys just running the ball down the Oilers' throat to start this Super Bowl. Now, the Cowboys, of course, were an elite passing team and a very, very good running team. There's a throw to Allworth right on the money. Another 12-yard gain. That's 3 first downs already. The Cowboys are making it look easy. Cowboys have blown out a lot of people. The Oilers have upset some people. So both teams in their comfort zone there. Staubach missing an open receiver. He was open, and that's rare for Staubach to miss. Here's the best offensive line of football. Neely, Nyland, Manders, Nye, and Wright. Hill and Thomas, the running backs. Hayes and Allworth, the great receivers. Mike Ditka, the former Bear at tight end. This team is just loaded. Hand off to Thomas. Gets a nice block across 30, 25. Maybe too good of a block. That might be coming back. It's a block in the back on Ralph Neely. Shaking his head, does not believe that call, but that'll push him back to his 2nd and 12. Not quite in field goal range yet for 71 kickers. Staubach play. Look at the time. That's why it's the best offensive line in football. It's all day long. Staubach's got a good arm and a good head on his shoulders. The receivers are talented, so when the best offensive line can hold the defenders back for that amount of time, it's no wonder why he's putting up the numbers that he has put up. There's Dan Reeves. Okay, they're going to show us 3 defensive linemen: Holes, Billingsley, and Bethea. Webster, Boyett, Rice, and Pritchard are the 4 best linebackers for the Oilers. Ken Houston and Charles are the safeties. Alexander and Moore are the corners. Houston quite sets himself apart from his secondary mates there, but they're all capable. I mean, they're in the Super Bowl. Here's a pitch out to Thomas, who dances around and gets a few more yards. 2 carries, 10 yards now. 3rd and 5. Long drive for the Cowboys. Already taken out 5.5 minutes. Oilers need a stop here. 3rd and 5. Staubach back to pass. Again, no pressure with the great offensive line. Throws it short to Ditka. He gets hit, fumbles the football. The Oilers recover it across the 20, 30. Staubach is the one that has to make the tackle. Okay, there's Tillman with the fumble recovery. Mike Ditka drops the ball after making the catch, of course. Let's make sure he had the reception first. 1, 2, yep, that's a catch and a fumble. Lit up, clear fumble. And I'm telling you what, these Oilers, the Cowboys march right down on them, but they find ways. Boom, big hit, forces the turnover, and here they are. They survive the first drive and not give up any points, and it's just the Oilers' MO. It doesn't make sense. There's no way to predict it. They're 12-point underdogs, but they're here to fight. There's a handoff to Richardson, probably the 3rd back in the depth charts, but he started getting some more carries in the AFC Championship game. There's a handoff. There's the guy you expect, Campbell. He gets 6 yards. And so the Oilers come out and go 2 runs and get a first down. So both teams wanting to establish the run early on here in 1971's Super Bowl. There's a completion to the outside. 12-yard pass, very familiar to what Staubach hit Allworth. So these teams kind of mirroring each other on first drives. Let's see if the Oilers fumble. Pastorini back to pass, throws complete. We didn't even get to see Pastorini because of the stats, because of the turnover. Whenever a team turns it over on their first drive, then they skip the quarterback introduction for whatever reason. There is a handoff to Richardson again. Not much. 3rd and 3. Big play here as the Oilers are on the cusp where the coach will probably go for the field goal, but a little bit too far, meaning he'll probably miss it. Pastorini misfires. That's his first incompletion, and here we go. The coach should know that over 50 is very unlikely in 71, but not impossible from 52. So we'll see if he's got the adrenaline to make an amazing kick here. Mosley's had a good year. Here it is. Kick is, it's blocked. It's blocked. Picked up by I believe is that Cornell Green on the special teams? It is indeed. Look at that speed. And the Cowboys get a touchdown. I didn't think it was likely he was going to make the kick. He decided to go for the low trajectory, which wasn't even the problem, though, because off the corner. Boom. There's the blocked kick leading to a touchdown. So both teams march down the field, get into quote-unquote field goal range. The Cowboys fumble, but the Oilers do worse than that. They give up a touchdown, a special teams touchdown to the Cowboys special teams. And so just over 9 minutes in, the Cowboys up 7-0. See if the Oilers can recover from that. The fumble force of the first drive was typical Oilers finding a way, but giving up 7 points when you thought you might be getting 3, that's a heck of a thing to have happen early in the Super Bowl. Now the rookie quarterback, Pastorini, and these Oilers are going to be tested once again, see what they're made of. Pastorini, what a story. Rookie year. Finds his way in the Super Bowl. Did not win Rookie of the Year for the AFC, though. That was another quarterback from New England. Pastorini fires and incomplete. Third and 10 now. Pastorini, 3 straight incompletions. Now he's going to take off and use his legs and get the first down. Pastorini has run quite a bit this year. Over 400 yards on the ground. And there he takes off for a first down, a much needed first down, as the momentum was starting to skyrocket for the Cowboys. Now this is Madden 20 before the momentum thing pretty much killed historical or any kind of simulation football. 2nd and 1, handoff Richardson. There's a nice hole. So Richardson again continuing to be a bigger part of the play call, or the offensive plan. They're back in Cowboys territory. They need to not attempt field goals of over 50 yards, though. Pastorini going to throw. He's got someone on the side. He gets across the 30, inside to the 26-yard line, down to the 25. So there's a nice play. Pastorini to Reed, and the Oilers, like they've done all season long, face adversity, and they're just the way they handle it is absolutely exemplary. 2nd and 6. If they can get this into the end zone, the Cowboys will know what I mean about this Oilers team that just doesn't quit. There's a post getting the carry, spins off of the would-be first tackler, sets up a 3rd and 4. Pastorini's got to throw. He's got to make here. This is usually Bob Lilly time. The Oilers do the smart thing. They double Lilly. Pastorini is going to run for it, but Lilly's not the whole defense. There's D.D. Lewis there to get the sack. Fool me once, sure. Fool me twice, not going to happen, says D.D. Lewis. You can't fool me twice, as W might have said. So here, a more makeable field goal from 39, and Mosley does put it through. So a good response for the Oilers. Momentum definitely all in favor of the Cowboys, but the Oilers hunkered down, get some points on the board. Late in the first quarter, it's 7-3. And even though the Cowboys have blown everyone out, just the amount of games we've seen the Oilers play, I'm not going to count them out yet, but the talent difference is a thing. Speed difference is a thing, as you see Bullet Bob Hayes. And we're going to see. I mean, I hope the Oilers hang on until the end and make this an exciting Super Bowl, but I could also see the Cowboys blowing out anyone they play. Not a Cowboys fan. They're just really good in 71. Well, Garrison, a couple yards. Garrison, Reeves, Thomas, Hill. All kinds of running backs, all kinds of receivers, all kinds of, well, a couple tight ends. One fumbled, but still good. And of course, even if Staubach were to get hurt, Staubach down to Jet Morton is a big downgrade for sure. But he's still a very solid backup. In fact, if Morton was playing, he'd probably have more of an even rating split between Morton and Pastorini. So even if Staubach gets hurt, they only go down, to where their opponent is right now. They're better at almost every position, offensively at least, and most of the defense as well. A couple Oilers would claim that Houston and Bethea come to mind. So Calvin Hill getting more carries than Thomas so far, and he is he's a little bit bigger of a back, and they're going for the bruising style here against the Oilers. Handoff to Hill again, and he will come through with a few more yards. 6 carries already for 36 yards. Cowboys drive, and this is right around where Ditka fumbled on the first drive. Staubach goes short and is complete to Thomas, but he's tackled almost immediately. Staubach only has thrown 1 incompletion thus far. Houston on the tackle there. I formation for the Cowboys on 3rd and 7. Again, big play for the Oilers defense. They got to get off the field all day to throw. Staubach has. He has to go short, though. Great coverage by the Oilers. Thomas makes the catch and then gets out of bounds. So Dallas will come out and try a 42-yard field goal. Certainly makeable. Not guaranteed, I guess, since it's 71, but definitely favored to make it, and Clark does make it. So both kickers have now made a field goal here in the Super Bowl. Cowboys regain their 7-point edge, and they ask the Oilers one more time, can you answer the call, or has the clock struck midnight, and it's time for the pumpkin. Dan Pastorini questions if the moment would be too big for the rookie. He's looked okay so far. Now they're giving him no one back there with him. He's got to throw. It's complete to Richardson, but he goes backwards. Loses 2 yards. Now Richardson joins Pastorini back there. Pastorini underneath to Richardson, back-to-back completions to Richardson, but not much yards gained. Brings up a 3rd and 7. They've double-teamed Bob Lilly on the last 4 or 5 plays in a row. They single him up this time, and Pastorini takes off before he can get back there and runs. He slides, but right at the first down marker, just enough, knowing exactly where the first down marker is. Some good poise there by the rookie. Gets just enough for a first down, and that was important. The defense needs rest because this Cowboys offense is electric, and you can't get caught being out there too many times in a row, or you're going to give up a big play. That was lack of acknowledgement by the quarterback. So poise on the run, but the opposite of that on that play, costing him 5 yards. Here we go. Pastorini fires over the middle, but it's incomplete. Not sure who he was going for. He had the underneath guy wide open. He either air-mailed him, or he was just a little bit inaccurate on the medium length guy. There is a screen pass that almost turns into a disaster. 3rd and 15. Let's see if the Oilers just run a draw or something here. I don't know. This is dangerous to go for with this defense. They do double-team Lilly for a 7th or 8th time. Allows Pastorini to get rid of the ball only for 2-yard gain. So the Oilers will punt. The special teams play of the Cowboys early in this game is the difference. Oilers are hanging with the Cowboys as far as total yards. And usually you need to play as the best you can, stay close in yardage, and have something go your way like a special teams touchdown. Here, the Oilers are doing the first part. They have matched the Cowboys in yardage and played right with them, but the big surprise special teams play that led to a touchdown is on the part of the Cowboys, so the better team also getting the lucky play is going to be hard to overcome. Halfway through the second quarter. Cowboys 10-3. Driving here from the other side of the field. Staubach drops back, fires underneath, and that is complete up to the 35-yard line. Staubach 6 of 7, but only for 35 yards. The Oilers not giving up the big play, making everything go underneath so far. There's a handoff to Thomas. He finds a hole and gets across the 40-yard line. Four carries, 22 yards, averaging 5.5 carries. Look at the Cowboys, almost 2-1 running the ball versus passing. The Cowboys have been a little bit unpredictable. They've been balanced as the season goes, but they've had games like this where they run 2 times for every pass. They've had other games where it's the Staubach aerial show. It looks like at least in the first half they have decided to go with the run-heavy offense. But the Oilers have done a pretty good job not giving up the big play, making the Cowboys earn every point they get on offense at least. Again, if that special teams blocked field goal, if it would have just been a miss rather than or just blocked but not picked up in return, we could have ourselves a 3-3 game here. So the Oilers are, earning some respect here if they haven't already. I mean, they're in the Super Bowl. No one would have predicted that. But that's not good enough for them. They want to win the thing. They want to win the thing and, keep intact that sack to the future difference from real life NFL history where NFL champions don't win their respective sack to the future year. But the Cowboys are going to be tough to beat. Campbell slams forward, gain of 6 yards. That's nice as long as, anytime they get 5 yards or more on first down, that is exactly what the Oilers want. Keep the chains moving. And up to Campbell again. He gets close, very close, but I think inches short. Third, and they're going to say 3rd and 1. I'm going to say a short one. Not so short as inches, but definitely not a full yard. Pastorini is going to fire to Richardson, complete, and he got hit and fumbled the football. The hit was applied by Leroy Jordan, I believe. And, yes, sir, it was Jordan, number 55. Let's see if we can take a look here. Boom, hit. Okay, it wasn't really a fumble. The fumble popped up on the screen. First of all, he was out of bounds, and he was totally down. He was down first, rolled over, ball came out. Not sure why fumble popped up on the screen. It was not a fumble. Either way, they called it fumble out of bounds, so same thing as not a fumble, I guess. Except for the stats. Campbell gets 3 more yards. You got to constantly go positive. Stay out of the big holes. They were in a big 3rd and 15 hole. But, no, Pastorini, that's disaster again. The Oilers are doing what they have not done all year long. They're shooting themselves in the foot. That is the 2nd touchdown just handed to the Cowboys. The first one was a blocked field goal. This one is Pastorini underthrowing his receiver. And right there is Herb Adderley. He was injured for part of the championship game, but not a serious injury, obviously, as he's back here playing. And the former Green Bay Packer, the old man, if you will, gets a touchdown here in the Super Bowl. And the Cowboys, they're not doing it the way they've done it all year, where they blow people out with 2 or 3 to 1 yardage. They're actually losing in the total yardage department, but they are winning by 14 points. And I know the Oilers have overcome a lot this year, but this might be the breaking point. It's a 14-point deficit to a team that hasn't even started playing their best football yet. The Cowboys always find explosive drives, and they've been handed 14 points. It's not something you need to do to a team that can score 30. without help. Richardson, a nice run there. Edwards comes up a little bit shaken up. Doesn't look serious, though. Oilers would love to get a touchdown here. The Oilers do get the ball to start the second half, so even a field goal would be huge if they could get points and then get the ball back right away. That's exactly the only thing that really could get this game back into a watchable affair. It was a nice throw by Pastorini. They are on the brink of being in field goal range now. And up to post. Post. Down to the 24. They haven't even used any timeouts yet. Still a minute to go. Pastorini throws. That was well read by D.D. Lewis, who makes the tackle. So there's the first timeout. Oilers now a 3rd and 8. They're going to hand off and give up any chance of the touchdown. Maybe they thought they could surprise the Cowboys, but they did not. In fact, they might have lost there. It's a kind of worst-case scenario. This is a pretty hard field goal. You got to hope it's not blocked. Kick is up, and Mosley does come through. What a nice kick from 48 yards. That is quite far in 71. Better than outside of 50, of course, but he does put it through. So 3 field goal attempts, 2 made field goals, 1 that was blocked in return for a touchdown. So they're still losing 7-6 when they attempt to kick field goals. Now the one shame of this Super Bowl is you see in the end zone it says Titans. We have, in the game of Madden, we have moved them to Houston for next year. So next year, if they can make it back, it will say Oilers. At least their home games will not have that Titan symbol anymore. But at least they are able to wear the Oiler uniforms here in 71. Staubach now. The Oilers may have left too much time on the clock. Their goal, of course, was to score points and then get the ball inside the second half and score some more points to get this thing back to a close game. But they gave Staubach 45 seconds here to ruin everything. Let's see if he does. He fires, he hits Bob Hayes. Now, Bob Hayes had no catches in the first half of the championship game and then lit him up in the second half. That was his first catch of this first half. And there he comes back with his second catch. So 2 catches, 2 first downs. Hayes' speed is so, look at that. The corner is 8 yards off of Hayes, and it's just too easy for him to go 10 yards and go out. It's basically a first down whenever they want it. Staubach almost gives the Oilers exactly what they needed. He threw it in a place that could have been picked off, but it was dropped. Let's see if they go to the ground. Nope, they're still going to be aggressive. You got to trust Roger. He completes underneath to Ditka, who immediately puts 2 hands on the ball, and they're right near field goal position. They're going to have to call a timeout. I thought maybe they get one more play off, but they have to call a timeout now. And it's Staubach may have just gotten the 3 points back. It's a 47-yarder, actually a little bit closer than it was for Mosley. Clark's kick is up, and it's good. So the good work by the Oilers to get points before the half. Staubach comes with a quick drive of his own, gets those points back. So no momentum for the Oilers. They will get the ball to start the second half, but they're still down by 2 full touchdowns. Can't imagine anything but a kneel down. Here we go. The Oilers doing the smart thing. Too risky to do anything else. There's the kneel. We're at the half. So the Oilers need to come up with something in the second half. They played well. The game is really an even battle, 6-6. Let's take a look at the yards. You see the Cowboys lead by 7 in the air, but the Oilers lead by 23 on the ground. So it's really quite even. The Oilers have played right there with the Cowboys, but the 2 turnovers leading directly to 14 points. The Cowboys turned it over first, and then the Oilers turned it over with a block kick return for a touchdown. So the Cowboys got away with their turnover. The Oilers gave 7 points directly to the Cowboys, and then later on the Oilers turned it over again, and it was a pick 6 So the Oilers have handed the Cowboys 14 points. You could say the Cowboys' first turnover took away 3 from their own score. So I guess you could say if there was not turnovers in this game, it's probably 9-6. But I mean, it's either 6-6 or 9-6 without those disastrous plays. But instead, it's 20-6. So Oilers got some fighting to do here in the second half. They will not give up, though. We know that. The Oilers have played better than anyone has expected them so many times this year. Early in the year, when they took the number 1 seed away from the Chiefs, I believe the Chiefs were either undefeated going into that game or only had the 1 loss, and the Oilers beat them. That was shocking. And the Oilers beat the Colts for the division. That was a shock. The Colts, of course, heavily favored. You know, one of the 2 favorites in the AFC. And then, of course, the other favorite in the AFC, the Miami Dolphins, well, the Oilers beat them. And the championship game, there's a nice run by Campbell. Making some moves and getting another first down. Oilers have gone over 100 yards on the ground. That's quite impressive. We're still early in the third quarter, so they have done some things. They just need to stop the turnovers. There's a first handoff to Walsh, and that might be his last as he loses 2 yards. 2nd and 12. Oilers have had a nice drive, but they can't let it end here. They got to get points. They have got to get points. They don't necessarily have to get a touchdown, but they do need to get points. There's a hard hit by Harris knocking the ball loose, and now you got yourself a 3rd and 12. Pastorini's got to make sure he doesn't turn it over here. But down by 14, you've got to go ahead and give yourself a chance. The throw is a little bit too long. And the Cowboys are going to get the ball back without giving up points. See how good of a punt the Oilers can pull off here. It goes almost directly out of bounds. A horrible punt. 20 net yards. Worse than just kicking it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. All right, so the Cowboys, this is their time. They have been in these games a lot where they're at a comfortable lead and then they do something like boom, boom, 3-play drive, touchdown, and completely make people hit the exits. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's hope the Oilers defense can get the ball back to their offense with still just a 2-score game. No need for people to turn it off this early. Nice play there by the Oilers defense so that they do get themselves a 3rd down, that possibility to get off the field. Let's see if they can do it. Oh, there's a movement in the backfield. That's going to cost the Cowboys another 5 yards. And now it goes from easy, at least for this offense, 3rd and 4, to a medium to hard 3rd and 9. They are going to pitch it out to Calvin Hill. The Oilers rally, of course, so the Cowboys. Interesting. That was either extremely cocky, thinking they could get the 9 yards on the toss play, or maybe they themselves are thinking, we got a 2-score lead. Nobody's been able to come back on a 2-score lead on us, so let's just be conservative, punt when we need to. I mean, it might be true, but I could definitely see Landry saying if we do not turn it over anymore this game, we will win, no doubt about it. I say if the Cowboys don't turn it over this game, there's a 98% chance they win. Just because the Oilers are the Oilers, I think that there's a 1 out of 50 chance that they could do it without forcing a turnover. But a turnover, of course, would make it easier. Pastorini, nice throw there. Ken Burrow, the big divisional round hero. Another exciting player that the Oilers have. Pastorini, quick throw. Oh, it was basically a quick pop-up and throw not wide receiver screen because there was no blockers out there for him. Just a quick throw to the wide receiver. And you see, who is this? Is this Adderley? No, that's Renfro. Goes flying past him as if maybe he thought he was going to get the interception. I'm not really sure. But he runs himself out of the play. If Cornell Green wasn't there paying attention, that could have been a big play. There's a pitch out to Campbell. Gets a couple good blocks, but there's too many Cowboys. Cowboy defense is fast as well. It's not just their offense. Cliff Harris might not be, super fast, but he's the one that made the tackle there. Either quickness or flat-out speed. That's what a lot of these Cowboys players have. 3rd and 8. Another chance for Pastorini to make a name for himself. You got to come up with some big plays. Oh, and he misses. He misses his receiver, and the Oilers, how many chances are they going to get? That's 2 chances now to cut into the lead, and they've gotten close to field goal range, but not quite into it. And that's another poor punt. Punters had a couple chances to get the Cowboys back inside their own 10. We've seen this year some great punts that led to safeties, but these are horrible punts, putting no pressure on the Cowboys whatsoever. Staubach backs to pass, fires complete. It's Bob Hayes' 3rd catch. Staubach still under 100 yards. We're halfway through the 3rd quarter. The Oilers defense has really played well. This is the Cowboys offense is not sputtering or anything. It's just because they're usually such high-flying offense. This is one of the better defensive jobs that have been done against them. There's a hand off to Thomas. A nice play there, coming up making the tackle. Is the corner Moore, Zeke Moore. 3rd and 12. Staubach drop back to pass, throws it underneath. A tackle is broken, and a first down is made all the way down to the 30-yard line. The Oilers had a chance to get off the field. Staubach went short to Hill. They had a guy out there. If he couldn't make the tackle, he just had to hold on, but instead he gets run completely over. Watch this. It's just one-on-one out there, so when he gets run over, there's no one to get Hill until he gets 25 more yards down the field. A little swing pass turns into a big play. Now the Cowboys are already in field goal range. Staubach back to pass again. Fires downfield, complete to the 15. This is where the Cowboys get a touchdown. Even a field goal turns this game into blowout status. A touchdown might break even the most lunatic Oiler fans' hearts. Or just, not hearts, but will, I guess you'd say. 2nd and 2. Now I'm going to say it. The Oilers need a turnover. They need to force the turnover right now. Staubach fires back in the end zone. It's over everyone's head. I think I'm not sure he was throwing that away necessarily, but he was throwing it high and saying if you can go get it, get it. If not, it's incomplete. Not going to turn it over because he knows what's at stake. And there he hits Bob Hayes. Of course, Bob Hayes will get the touchdown. He's done it all season long. Staubach to Hayes. That's the first offensive touchdown of the Cowboys. Comes late in the 3rd quarter, and the route is on. The Cowboys are covering the spread right now, favored by 12. They lead by 21 points. This is a game that could have been close, but the Oilers handed the Cowboys 14 points in the first half, and that's just ludicrous because now instead of being a close game, it's a 21-point game, and the Cowboys special teams forces its 2nd turnover. Washington recovers a block kick return for a touchdown earlier, and then this. Momentum already on the Cowboys. That hit. You can see it was sort of a lethargic run back by Burrow. Gets popped. Ball comes out. Cowboys recover it. That is probably, yeah, that's the nail in the coffin. The touchdown drive probably sealed it, but the following kickoff return fumble has definitely sealed it. The Cowboys are going to win their 2nd Sack to the Future title, and for the first time ever, a team that in NFL history won the Super Bowl is going to go and win the Sack to the Future version of the Super Bowl as well. The 1971 Cowboys, the only team to win both the NFL and Sack to the Future Super Bowls. So now you can, when you're in an argument with your friends, what was the greatest team of all time? You mentioned, well, there's a lot of Super Bowl champions and some NFL champions before there was called Super Bowl, but only one, the 71 Cowboys, were also able to win the Sack to the Future Bowl. Does that mean they're the greatest team ever? I don't know. But they can make the argument. Cowboys just under 17 minutes away from winning the whole thing. Pitch out to Dwayne Thomas, gets a block, puts himself out of bounds. This game is not yardage-wise, if you're just joining. The Cowboys haven't necessarily dominated the Oilers. The yardage is very close. This game probably should be about 13-6, but a blocked field goal return for a touchdown and a pick six, obviously return for a touchdown, just handed the Cowboys 14 points, and they are slightly outplaying the Oilers on top of that. This field goal right here is a result of yet another turnover. So the Oilers have turned it over 3 times, just handing the Cowboys 17 points. And that's why you're watching, instead of a 13-6 competitive game, you're seeing 30-6 on the scoreboard. And the Cowboys threatening. In fact, I don't have my Sack to the Future stats in front of me. Of course, some of the early years, the stat keeper was Tears89, whose favorite team is this Cowboys team. So maybe when he checks in and sees this, he will appreciate the fact that the Cowboys won the Super Bowl and recall some of those stats for us to see if this is the biggest ever blowout in a Sack to the Future Super Bowl. Pastorini now feeling the pressure. He knows he's got to make something happen. Trying to make the perfect throw, and he's become less accurate. Also, the Cowboys know they can just play pass defense. Pastorini does a nice job avoiding the sack there and avoiding the big hit at the back end of it. Runs for a first down. That'll take us to the end of the third quarter. Even the craziest Oiler fan knows it's over, but I guess they'd like to see their team put the ball in the end zone. You don't want to be that team that makes it to the Super Bowl and doesn't get in the end zone. Pastorini just trying to do things with his legs at this point with all the coverage that the Cowboys are throwing out there, knowing he's got to pass, and just finding it easier to run for the yardage. There's a completion underneath. Nice broken tackle. Only earns him another yard, but still, the effort is still there for the Oilers. They just don't have the time to possibly come back in this one. Pastorini fires downfield. That's a hard hit on Byrne. He was able to hold on, but he felt it. He's going to come off for at least a play. That was a hit delivered by Thomas, and Byrne is out for now. But he held on to the ball. Nice catch. Pastorini fires other side of the field. That's complete. So Pastorini finding some holes here in the elaborate coverage scheme of the Cowboys. Now they come out with a 3 tight end set. Play action pass. Pastorini fires, and he had his man. It hit him in the hands, but unable to hang on. 2nd and 10 now. Oilers fighting for pride, and Renfro takes that pride and shoves it back in their face. He's gone. A 90-yard return for a touchdown. That is the 3rd touchdown return of this game, 2 pick sixes, and a blocked field goal return for a touchdown. And this game is becoming ridiculous, which is what we didn't want to happen. But the Cowboys are just proving to everyone how dominant they've been this year. A one-score loss to the Eagles, the only thing stopping them from being the perfect team. But they are definitely Sack to the Future Super Bowl champions. And we'll see if they can repeat in 72. The Oilers shocked most of the AFC by winning the AFC, but no match for the Cowboys. You see, the Oilers actually have more total yards, but they cannot stop turning it over. Pastorini is going to keep throwing. I mean, at the very least, this is experience for the rookie. Now, just because you make it to the Super Bowl as a rookie doesn't mean you'll ever make it back. But, you know, the fact that he made it here means he played a couple playoff games. Now he's playing a Super Bowl. That's all good things for a young quarterback to experience and hopefully learn from. There is a flag on the field. Only a couple penalties this game. But that's on the Oilers offense. And now on there, the Cowboys decline it to bring up 4th down. 4th and 1. Pastorini fires, completes. It gets the 1st down. So again, the only intrigue, if there is any left, is will the Oilers get the ball in the end zone? Of course, all the players on the Oilers have got to be disappointed, but you still want to get in the record books of having a Super Bowl touchdown. It's definitely a special thing. And getting the score a little bit nicer would be, you know, good. I mean, they're going to be known as the team to lose by the most in Sack to the Future Super Bowl history if they don't cut into this lead some. This is the 3rd Sack to the Future Bowl for the Oilers, so that is impressive. But they are going to be 1-2. The Cowboys, this is their 2nd trip, but they're going to have won both of theirs, just like the Bears. So the Oilers 3 appearances, 1 win. Cowboys and Bears both 2 appearances and 2 wins each. Oilers will punt. Decide not to play on 4th and 18. Again, there's no chance to actually win, so guess they did not feel like trying to pick up a 4th and 18. And now the Cowboys could just run the ball, get Thomas some yards. He goes over 50 on that carry. And the Cowboys are over 100 as a team. Both teams went over 100 yards. He 114 to 109. Actually in favor of the Oilers. Second 15, hand up to Hill, gets a nice hole, runs up to the 28, and he's over 50 yards. So both Thomas and Hill have gone over 50 yards today. The Oilers had the 5th best defense in 1971, Sack to the Future. But today, well, it's not even true though. I mean, that stat said today they've allowed 37 points, but they haven't. 21 of the points were on returns. So they've only allowed 16 points. In fact, one of the field goals, they didn't even allow a 1st down, but they allowed a field goal because of a different turnover. So the Oilers defense really has only allowed 13 legitimate points. But, you know, they get credit for allowing 37. All right, so again, It's been a blowout. The end of 1971 doesn't end exciting, but the team that was the best all year is going to win, and that doesn't happen all the time in Sack to the Future. If you've been following, you know the very first year it was these Cowboys who pulled the biggest upset, beating the undefeated Chicago Bears, who obviously I personally thought was going to win the whole thing, but crushed me in the very first season of Sack to the Future, and won their first Super Bowl. There's been other upsets as well. The Cardinals upset their way all the way to the championship in '64. They had a couple big upsets. I want to say there was a year when the Giants were a lot of people's favorites, as they were just scoring all kinds of points, and then they got stunned by the Packers. So the team that you think's going to win going to the playoffs quite often does not, but this year the Cowboys do it pretty easily. None of the playoff games were that close. Easy road to the victory parade. And the only thing that you can say about these Cowboys is that they did not go undefeated, and that was, I wonder if they'll look back at that, because they were so close to being a perfect team. Staubach and Hayes, the best quarterback receiver combo of the year. Dwayne Thomas finished number 2 in running back of the year discussions. Defense is loaded, offensive line best in football. But the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, with that week, I think it was 8 or 9, somewhere around there, late upset over the Cowboys. It's the only thing keeping them from undefeated. Now they're just trying to get to everyone to get some touches. Garrison gets his second carry. Running out the clock. Trying to put an end to this. Cowboys going to win their second Sack to the Future Bowl. There's a flag. I'm not sure what the refs are doing there. Not reading the situation. I'm sure it was holding, but the game's over. People are just trying to get out of here. Cowboys need to go celebrate. Oilers want to get out of here. They won't think about it tonight, but when they reflect later, it was a heck of a season for the Oilers. They went way farther than I thought they would go. Most people thought they would go. Had some nice upsets over the year. But ultimately just ran into a completely loaded team that's too good for the rest of the league. We'll have a draft coming up. Sorry, I'm not going to do the draft live or anything, but there is a draft coming up. We might do a draft recap show. But we'll see what teams can draft to try to catch these Cowboys, because right now they are just head and shoulders above the rest of the league. Pastorini fires downfield and completes, trying to go over 200 yards now. Just looking for some stats. There's a handoff to Richardson. 30 seconds to go. There's still a chance for the Oilers to find the end zone. Fires deep and overshoots his receiver, or was throwing it away. Love to get in the end zone before this thing is over. Doesn't matter on the win, but instead what happens is Lilly comes in and gets a full sack. Now, he got the share of a sack, which may have been generous, but that's a no-doubter. He's still being double-teamed, though. So he fights he's been double teamed almost all game long, which is proper. I mean, you should do that. But he finally broke through. Here's a Hail Mary right at the end of the game, and it goes incomplete. So the Oilers do not get in the end zone. They were showing the Oilers for some reason. Let's show the champions, please. There we go. The champions, the Dallas Cowboys. There's the celebration. The same celebration that we've seen in Madden for decades. This is Madden 20, though, because, well, it's just the best if you're trying to do historical football. Oilers congratulate the Cowboys. Good season for the Oilers as well. Not a good Super Bowl, but a good season. Cowboys, they would have beat them even if it wasn't the turnovers. It would have been a closer game, but they would have beat them. So the best team did win. The turnovers made it look lopsided, but the correct team won the Super Bowl. I'm not happy about it, but I do know that they were the best team all season long. Thanks for watching. If you watched not only this game, but any of the season, Herb Adderley gets the MVP. His pick six at the time that he did it. That was the moment that the Cowboys took it beyond just a one-score game, and then it just became a blowout after that. They completely dominated from that point forward. So that makes sense that Adderley could get the MVP. Now they're passing it around. Leroy Jordan had it first. There's the quarterback, Roger Staubach. Not the MVP, though. The MVP of the regular season was actually Alan Page of the Vikings. Let's take a look at some stats since it is the Super Bowl. Pastorini, 24-42, 211 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks, and both of those picks were returned for touchdowns. Roger Staubach, 15 of 22, 154 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Another game where he was rated over 100. Rushing, there was a lot of running in this game. Dwayne Thomas had 78 yards. Calvin Hill, 60 yards. He actually had one more carry than Thomas did. Pastorini scrambled for 41 yards. Richardson got 34. Woody Campbell, 27. And then some other guys had carries. Leroy Sledge, just his first carry, 9 yards, and then came up injured. So that was unfortunate for them. Catches, not a lot of big yards. Bob Hayes, of course, probably led. Bob Hayes, like he always does, had the most receiving yards in the game, but only 55. So the Oilers' defense, again, did a lot of good things, but not enough when their offense was giving away points. Defensively, okay, here we go. Sacks. Bob Lilly, 1.5. Lewis had 1. Andre had a half. Staubach was not sacked the entire Super Bowl. Interceptions, Adderley and Renfro, both touchdowns. And kicking, Clark was 3 of 4. Mosley was 2 of 3. His missed field goal, of course, was blocked and returned for a touchdown. So all in all, not a good game for the Oilers, but again, congratulations on a good season. Dallas Cowboys, you are the champions. Only 1 loss throughout the season. And Zach to the future champions. Congratulations, Cowboy fans. We will be back for 1972. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas, which is just a few days away, and a Happy New Year. I'm sure it'll take a while for the draft to conclude, but I will come back with some time probably after the new year with a draft recap video, and then we'll see some 1972 action. So thanks again for watching, and have Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, anything you're doing, Happy New Year. I hope everyone enjoys themselves and stay safe. Thanks for watching. This has been Phantom Fighter, and this has been Sack to the Future. We'll come back for 72. Join us. Peace.